Hey guys, wanted to kind of make a video for you today and talk about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu as a whole. I'm hearing a lot of kind of complaints, whining, if you will, about some of the politics that surround Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I really don't understand what politics they're referring to. Well, I do and I don't. There are some politics regarding okay, if you come from a Carlson Gracie lineage and you're training with, a Rickson, under a Rickson Gracie lineage or something like that, and basically guys kind of cross-pollinating and stuff like that, there is a little bit of politics going on there, but you have to understand what is the underlying issue that they're trying to prevent. Basically, what they're trying to prevent is this self-centered, me-centered approach to training. I am not a real big advocate of Gracie combatives, but if you watch kind of their advertisement video, I do stand in support of a lot of the things that they espouse. Now, whether or not they live up to the values that they espouse or not, I have no knowledge of. I'm not affiliated with them. I don't have anything to do with any of their affiliate schools, so I really don't know whether or not they actually live up to the motto that they espouse. But basically, one of the things that they state, and that I actually wholeheartedly agree with, is that combatives, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, all of this is not an individual event. This is not an individual growth spurt. This is a team event that requires you to depend on your training partners, your brothers that you work with and you train with every day. This requires everybody's participation and everybody's devotion to the team as a whole in order to grow. If I'm constantly going into the academy with the mindset of I'm going to go in there and just maul everybody because I want to get my game better, I want to get stronger, I want to get faster, I want to submit all these people, if that is my goal, eventually I end up becoming that asshole that nobody wants to grapple, or worse yet, and I've seen this happen more times than I can count, I end up becoming that asshole that everybody wants to beat. And my instructor, Fabio Novaes, probably, one of my best friends, but the guy kind of said something to me one time that really resonated with me, and he had said, you can either be that guy that people want to be, or you can be that guy that people want to beat. And that really is absolutely true. You can be that team player that comes in that is helping his brothers, helping his training partners, helping everybody to grow and to evolve and to learn. And when I go against a blue belt, I might dial it back a few notches or whatever, or maybe I use him as an opportunity for me to train positions that I'm not particularly good at, that maybe I wouldn't try with other black belts that I'm going more serious with. Instead, what I do is I dial it back a few notches and I go with these guys and I practice the things that I'm not good at. And if they catch me, that's okay, because I'm going with guys that I know are my teammates, that I know are not looking to get a notch on their belt, so to speak, at my expense. And as a result of that, they end up growing because I put myself in compromising positions so that I can practice those positions. And I end up growing because I end up getting better at those positions. So the team as a whole gets better, as opposed to me going in there and just grabbing a hold of a blue belt or a purple belt or something and just friggin' mauling him and I don't allow him any space. I don't allow him to move, and I go in there and my training is all about me. And the end result of that is this guy ends up not enjoying, not learning. I really don't learn either, because the only thing that I learn is to be faster at things that I'm already good at. That's not really learning, that's just maybe improving some of my proficiency, but I don't learn any new information there. And basically what ends up happening is I end up becoming that dick that as soon as I get hurt, as soon as I get injured, and I go in there and I grapple and I'm like, hey dude, kind of watch out for my knee or watch out for my neck or whatever, what do you think's going to happen? That guy's going to look at this as an opportunity. It's blood in the water, and he's going to come at me with all that he has. And it's not going to matter. Why? Because I completely disrespected him, used him as basically just a piece of meat on the mat when it was my time, when I was on top. And the end result is he's going to do the same when he senses a weakness in me. So Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is not an individual sport. Combatives isn't either. Really, the two of them share the same view, and that is that most of the adherents to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and or combatives, they are stronger mentally than they are physically. Now, that's not to say that they are not strong physically, but they are stronger mentally than they are physically. They have the ability to mentally push themselves much further than their bodies will even physically allow. They have the ability to endure an ass whooping, not just because of physical toughness, but mental toughness as well. And as a result of that allows them a certain amount of humility. Now, that being said, a lot of times when I see guys come into a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu academy, they're faced with a reality. They're faced with a mirror, and they're shown their own inadequacies. And people react differently to that. Some people react harshly to that, and the first thing that they do is they get immediately defensive and they say, oh, all this Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu stuff is bullshit. It doesn't work. If I were on the street, I would just do this, this, and this. But basically what they're doing is they're trying to grasp at excuses to justify their inadequacies because they don't like the picture that they see in the mirror when they're faced with it. The other type of person is that person who is shown that mirror and he's like, man, that's awesome. I want to be like that guy. That guy just owned me. And I've talked about this kind of in the past. I was 240 pounds, bodybuilding at the time, and I came into an academy as a white belt, and I got completely owned by a 140 pound purple belt at the time. And I mean, the guy he took my world apart. And the end result of that was, I was like, man, that is awesome. That is control. There was nothing I could do, no amount of strength, endurance, anything like that helped me in any way. This guy completely owned me, and I was just immediately just kind of shown my own inadequacies, and as a result, I was like, I want to be like that guy. I want to have that kind of control. I want to do that. And basically, that drew me to it, and I kept doing it. But for every one of those guys who is faced with that mirror that I've seen come in and come to that reality and stay, I've seen 10 guys come in and basically walk out and say, well, if we were just on the street, I would shoot you, or I would stab you, or I would do this, or I would do that. And I see all kinds of excuses. Basically, even to the degree that people will sit there and say, I don't want to get involved in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu because of the politics involved. I mean, look, you can grasp at whatever excuse you want, but at the end of the day, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu has proven itself an effective fighting form. Is it the end-all to be-all? No. But is it the foundation and basis for nearly every combatives program in the world right now? Yeah. I mean, by and large, yes. So, I guess what I want you guys to kind of take from this is, when you go into an academy, go in with an open mind. Go in with a team mindset. It's not about you. You will learn and you will get better, and you will benefit from that. Not just as a fighter, but you will benefit as a person. But if you go into an academy with this mindset that it's all about me, I promise you, the guys in there will eat you like meat, and they will beat your ass, and you will be faced with a harsh reality that you won't be able to sustain. So I would encourage you guys to look at Jocko Willink. He does a short video about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and talks about his experience as well. I mean, this guy is a freaking Navy SEAL, hardcore operator, plenty of combat tours, and he tells you straight up how humbled he was when he got faced with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu the first time. Look at guys like Tim Kennedy. The guy started out, I believe he got his exposure in martial arts as a kid, but then he went into the Army, got combatives. But understand that is not what he does. I mean, when he goes into the ring, he's not doing Army combatives. He's gone on, he's progressed from there, and he's moved into more pure, more perfect styles of martial arts, not just kind of the watered down version that the military and law enforcement is getting out there. So, don't be that guy who is stuck on what you do is the only thing that's right, and anybody who does it, basically you're just kind of selling yourself excuses. Don't be that guy that people want to beat. Be that guy that people want to be like. So, all right, you guys train hard.